Hey everyone, my name is Lugina and welcome to Tread Chic. I'm so happy to have you here. So many of you know that my channel is for treadmill workouts. I have workouts for walkers, runners, and everyone in between, different challenges, a journey to 5K, and so much more. And many of you know that my heart is really into this. I love getting these out here to help us keep each other motivated, empowered, and as consistent as possible. And one thing for me that's very important is consistency. That is something that's very important to me, is being as consistent as possible. There's some days that you're not gonna feel like doing, of course, go out for a 5, 6, 7 mile run, but doing something so that your body is moving, so that we're not leading a more sedentary life. And so my goal is to try to help you be more consistent and to figure things out so that you have a bigger why consistent, because there's so many other things involved. There's whether it be our health for when we get older so that we live a better life. There's staying away from diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or staying away from high blood pressure. And of course, we may have that weight goal, because we have these goals, but we want to make sure that we're realistic, that we realize that not only are we doing that, but there's so much more so that we can remain healthy for ourselves and our families. And so I say all that to say, I just want to help out with a few tips and a few things for you to think about when it comes to consistency, okay? So number one, if you're not taking your goals seriously, the people around you are not going to take them seriously either. So I like to say, if you're willy-nilly with your goals, people around you are going to be. So for instance, if you plan to work out one day and every time someone calls you, you're quick to put that on the back burner, people are going to take that seriously and say, oh, but just give her a call, just give him a call, because they'll stop. They won't need to, they'll just come along. So if you know you plan something and you stick to that, those around you are going to take you seriously as well. And so a lot of times I say this, and because you don't want to always think about others, but people are around us, our friends, our family, and people are going to depend on us and need different things. But you have to make sure, if you have a goal, no matter what it is, you have to work to accomplish those goals. You have to realize, if I don't get this done, and every time someone comes to interrupt me, I just leave, and it's never going to get done, or it gets done when I don't want it to get done, or it gets done when I'm not at my best. And so it's really important that we take our goals seriously, because when we do, those around us take us seriously. A lot of times when we're in a group and you start running, because there are many of you that may have started to run, and you realize you have these goals, you get up early on Saturday mornings and you go out for these runs, and you feel good, you feel empowered to do that. But some may have their family or friends around them that says, hey, what are you doing on Saturday morning? Well, I was going for my run, but I can do it another time. Okay, let's go. And you do that all the time, they're gonna be like, forget it. She's not really taking those seriously. She's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. But so you want to be consistent with your goals for yourself. When you take yourself seriously, everyone else around you will take that seriously as well. Number two, nothing is easy. There's going to be some discomfort when you're doing anything. A lot of times we think that if you have a particular goal, if you're trying to eat a certain way, if you're trying to clean up the way you eat, or trying to work out some more, nothing is easy. In the beginning, there's always going to be some discomfort. You're not to think that, it's not easy, I don't have time for it, I don't want to do it because it's just not convenient. Things are not always going to be convenient, especially when you're adding something new into your routine. So remember that discomfort is something that happens, okay? Especially as you get used to something. Now, I'm not asking you to go through this. It has to be like crazy, like you're flying over and making leaps and bounds. It shouldn't be that crazy, but there's going to be some discomfort, and a lot of times we are afraid of discomfort. Any type of goal, anything, we shy away. The minute that we feel something different, we just fall flat. It's like we're afraid to change, and we cannot be afraid to change. There's going to be some discomfort, but when you think about that, when you go through that discomfort, you guys will hear me, those that have been on my channel, that's where the change happens. When you push through, that's where the change happens. When you think of a diamond, it's only made through pressure. It has to go through that pressure. When you go through it, that's where the change happens. Now, I don't want you to go out and do crazy things. Like, there's some crazy things out there, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about when you know something is right for you, when you know it's the right decision, whether it be with anything in life, right? discomfort isn't necessary in order for, a lot of times for it to happen. Things aren't always going to be easy. Things may come as you get more used to it. Things may definitely be a lot smoother, but it's okay to feel some discomfort. And if you don't, because you're so good at getting stuff done, fantastic. But for those of you that are afraid of change at all, discomfort is a must. That has to happen for us to truly change, okay? Number 3, I want you to be realistic, because a lot of times we set these goals, especially for the new year. New year is coming and we're setting all of these resolutions, these things, these goals. Girl, I'm gonna run 5 miles a day, or I'm gonna do 30 miles a week. And then sometimes some of us set ourselves up for failure, really, because we set these unrealistic goals and we're not able to follow through with them, okay? And then we just end up giving up. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to be realistic. I want you to set goals that you know you'll be able to follow so that you can stick with them. So just be realistic. Yes, there's gonna be that discomfort like we talked about, but be realistic as well. If you know you've never worked out, then, I'm not saying that type of pain where I'm gonna feel the pain of running 5 miles a day. No, I'm talking about just being realistic with what you're doing, making sure that, I'm trying to be more fit. I'm gonna walk for 20 to 30 minutes and give yourself a range. I'm gonna walk for 10 to 30 minutes a day. I'm gonna work out 4 days a week, so that you have more control over that, okay? And then if you don't make those 5 miles, that's okay. You don't become discouraged and just say, forget it. I didn't make it at all. No, be realistic with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And then you'll notice that things will definitely happen. The next thing is, number 4, write things down. When you're doing these things, it's important to write your goals down, because a lot of times we think of things. How often have you thought of something, and then you don't write it down? You're like, what was I thinking? What plan did I have? That was so good. I don't remember. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, if you don't, what do they say? If you don't plan, you fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yes, that's it. So it's so important to write those things down. I know with myself, like for this channel, there's so many things that I am looking forward to doing, and I have to write everything down. And I have a lot of things written, and I myself am working on making sure that I'm organized with it, to make sure that I'm doing what it is that I want to do. Like even me speaking here, doing this has been a long time coming. Like I said, I'm gonna do this, I wanna do it. And then I let people sort of say, well, the people don't wanna hear that, or they may not wanna hear that. But this is something that I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And and that's one thing I'd like to say as well. Your goals, your purpose, your dreams are not for everyone. Where you may know that something is for you, that you know that this is something that God has put into you that you're supposed to be doing, do not let people talk you away from that. If you know you're supposed to be doing something, do not let others take you down, okay? Do not let others take that away from you. And there's certain things that I had prepared that I know that, hey, I'm gonna just try it out. It's okay if you just try things out, okay? To see did I hear correctly? Am I supposed to do this? Try things out, but just write things down so that you have a plan, so that you stay on your path, okay? You have to make sure you have things written down, plan it, and not just wake up in the morning and say, oh, what am I gonna eat today? Because then you're hungry and then you end up just eating anything. Or then you don't wanna work out and you just leave and you don't do anything. So let's plan. With the new year coming, we're gonna do great things. I'm excited. Let's be consistent. If you have any questions, of course, email me, treadchic@gmail.com, or reach out to me on Instagram @treadchic, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Let's work together to be more consistent. We've got this. These are just a few tips. There are so many more, but these are just some things that I wanted to share in terms of how I do things, okay? And I hope it was helpful, okay? Remember, with every step that you take, to spread more love, joy, and positivity. I'll see you next time. Bye.